Hi, my name is Angela, and I love the park-like look and feel of our neighborhood. Last year I met with ACHD and the Treasure Valley Canopy folks, and I wanted to share what I learned as well as make my personal plea to encourage folks to plant trees in the front of their house. Please enjoy this presentation, and I hope this gives you some background and information about our neighborhood trees, and if you love the park-like feel as much as I do, some things that you can do to help us maintain it. Apologies for my low-tech recording here. All right, so trees sell houses. They create visual appeal, they increase property value, they help reduce energy costs. The abundance of repeated trees in our neighborhood has benefited everyone financially, as it has made our neighborhood feel exclusive. BayHill Springs, our trees are not without its problems. So when the developer created this development, they did not get permission from ACHD to plant this type of tree in the size of strip that we have. There are some known problematic choices. First, they're all the same species, which makes them highly subject to disease. They are all the same age, which means they're all going to near the end of their natural life around the same time. We are aware, everyone is very aware of the debris that they create, the roots that choke the sprinklers and raise the sidewalks. All right, per ACHD, these trips were planted against recommendations and should have not been planted. ACHD will not be replacing them as they age, die, or cause problems. ACHD does have the right to fully remove all the strip trees at any time without notice. ACHD is also considering no longer maintaining them in any way, shape, or form. Please know that these front strips are not governed by the HOA board, and the board has remained neutral about the trees, and to my understanding, they will not be taking any stance on them. It's very expensive for an HOA to change the rules like this, and it would need to be a collective effort. But again, ACHD will not approve the continuing planting of trees in this area. It's just not big enough. So, BayHill Springs, we currently have a beautiful park-like neighborhood. There are approximately 220 of these same trees that line our streets. Love them or hate them, the existing strip trees are a primary feature that creates our unique and beautiful park-like atmosphere, and our home sale prices are reflected in that. Our neighborhood is an ideal vision for families and children, ideal walking conditions for people with pets, and ideal walking conditions for seniors. It is beautiful at Christmas time. Even folks not in our neighborhood seek out walking in our neighborhood. These additional pedestrians that walk through our neighborhood make our neighborhood safer. Here are the challenges. First off, I'm not speaking of the common area trees, but you should be aware that the HOA board has decided to go ahead and approve some funds to do some long-needed health pruning of the trees that are in our common area, and that's going to start happening soon. It may look a little stark, but it needs to happen. What I'm speaking of is the ACHD strip trees. These trees are not an HOA responsibility, and they will be nearing the end of their natural life. The neighborhood will ultimately lose 200 strip trees, potentially within a few years of each other. Since these trees are all the same species, common diseases such as fire blight could come in and kill all the trees at the same time. We have been very lucky on that front. However, due to the lifespan, these trees will inevitably be gone and will ultimately change the look of our neighborhood, which then in turn will impact the prices of our houses. So what can you do before the strip trees, gosh, that's hard to say, start to disappear? As an individual on your personal property, the first thing you can do is choose to start the next tree generation by planting a young tree today. Young trees are less expensive and take less effort to plant. If you choose to do this, consider the species and consider creative placements. They don't just need to be in the center of your lawn, although please do consider your neighbors and ensure you're not planting a tree that's going to be maintenance for your neighbor. Consider things such as growth speed, lifespan, root structure, future pruning, and raking. I'd also like to introduce you to the Treasure Valley Canopy Network. Here is their contact information. The Treasure Valley Canopy Network is a great group of people working in conjunction with ACHD, the Botanical Gardens, and many other groups to help promote a healthy canopy of trees in the Treasure Valley. They collaborate, innovate, and sustain everything that has to do with trees. Hopefully you can read the slide here that has some detailed information. Last summer, I met with Treasure Valley Canopy Network and ACHD at the same time. ACHD and Treasure Valley walked our neighborhood, and they sure wish a lot more neighborhoods looked like we do. Both entities echoed the fate of our strip trees and feel that homeowners and the missteps taken by the original developer is now something we have to deal with. The Canopy Network indicated that they may have programs and resources to help owners obtain and or plant new trees. And I'm thinking of our seniors who might be less able-bodied to plant a new tree. ACHD has indicated that we can plant things in our front strip, which is currently not subject to HOA. But ACHD recommends homeowners plant new trees on your personal property to help bring back and maintain a park-like feel. What else can we do as a community? Keep in mind, the HOA board does not have any current enforceable strip guidelines that overrule ACHD. Creating them can be costly for everyone and challenging. Having a neighborhood filled with varying health and dying maintenance trees in the front strips can look messy easily and bring down the perceived value of the entire neighborhood, something we might all care about. The truth is, ACHD has jurisdiction easement rights over everyone's front strip. There are no laws stating that ACHD must return excavated strips back to their exact prior appearance. The history of this level of excavation has been very minimal thus far. It is visually clear that the consistent planting of trees, problematic that it is, creates a look and feel that only comes from the abundance of a repeated element and gives us our wonderful park-like appearance. Large and medium trees, such as we have today, is probably not the most responsible thing to put in the front strip. But it's important to know that we don't have to let this area become ugly. Having some level of attractive consistency can help positively impact the neighborhood's landscaping overall. You'll see that a few homes have done some wonderful things in their front strips. If we echo visual ideas, we can enhance the neighborhood, show that we have pride of ownership, and it can be very impactful to the bottom line when it comes to selling your homes. But this does not mean we need to be identical. Oops, sorry, okay. A personal homeowner plea, and this is me. I fell in love with the neighborhood, shaded sidewalks, and ample tree presence in our neighborhood. I'm asking you to love it too. So much so that you would be willing to work together to choose to create a common-like, cohesive, but not necessarily identical look to our common front strips, something that is attractive, beneficial, and creates this big bang for your buck repetition that the current trees create today. I'm asking you to plant a tree on your property sooner as opposed to later. I believe with commitment, effort, and understanding of the unique community that we have, that we are so lucky to live in, we can navigate this potentially devastating loss of over 200 trees. I know this has been kind of low tech, but I hope that you have learned a little bit about the history of the strip trees and have a desire to create and keep the park-like feel that we have. We have a landscape committee if anyone is interested in joining that. I know there are spaces on the landscape committee for those who love the look and feel of our neighborhood and would like to keep it in the best way possible. Thank you so much. If this has been something that you agree with, please feel free to reach out to me. And if you don't agree with this, that's completely fine. This is just my personal plea to help encourage folks to plant a tree.